Hello, everyone. Welcome to Tangle Time Arts. My name is Nana Heron, and I'm a certified Zentangle teacher. And I'm really excited to be here for October because we're going to be taking a look at the Inktober Tangles for 2024. These projects are going to be pretty much short and sweet, and we'll go day by day and work our way through the tangles. I'll give you the information on where to find your own packet, but it's several pages and you can download it and print it. And special shout out to Stephanie Jennifer for putting this together because it is a lot of work, but she did an awesome job. So I like to print it out, put some holes in it, and then I can work my way through it. And what's great is that for each day, she includes links. So you can click on those and get some examples and step outs. And today, day one, we're going to take a look at Ambler by Zentangle. And Ambler is super fun and super easy. I think you're going to like it. So for this project, again, we're keeping it very simple. So you'll just need your basic materials, black pen, a number 2 pencil, a tortillon or a Q-tip, and a white tile. And we're going to get started. All right, we are just going to go straight to the black pen because I am going to, I like to do Ambler in kind of like a ribbon, like a border. And we're going to do that Hollibaugh style. So the way I do that when we do our ribbons and in Hollibaugh style, so we're going to use the entire tile for this one. And we're just going to draw, I'm going to just put in a curve here. I'm going to pretty much go all the way across the tile. And then I'm going to aura that. And I'm going to go pretty wide here. So if you have your pen, you can kind of see it's not quite double, but like 1.5 widths of the pen. So we have our first section here, our first ribbon, and we're going to start with Ambler. So I like to kind of think of Ambler as almost like a square print top. But instead of starting from the center and spiraling out, we're going to start from the outside and kind of spiral in, but in square shapes. All right. And I like to start in kind of in the center of each ribbon. So we're going to draw a line from the bottom up, but not touching. And then we're going to kind of aura along our curve here. And when we get to where it's a kind of like going to be a square shape, then we go back down and over to the left, but not touching. And then we go back up. And instead of circles, we are kind of spiraling in with squares. So that's our first one. And then I like to work kind of from left to right from the center point. But we go a little differently. I'm going to go now counterclockwise. So we're going to kind of start at the top here, but not touching, and go down over to the right. When it gets to be the same length, then we go back up and over, but don't touch. And then kind of spiral in. And then these are all going to be the same or similar. Some might be a little thinner like this one or a little wider. And that's fine. Ambler is kind of similar to a mingle, which we took a look at a couple months ago in our Tangles of the Week. So if you like doing this pattern, this tangle, you can take a look at that, but that's more grid-like. When I get to this area, so I'm kind of missing that part of the ribbon. So I just do my best to kind of fill in um, how it would kind of look. And then we have to finish this section over here. And for these, I'm going to do the opposite, kind of like the mirror of these over here. So instead of starting to the left, I'm starting on the right hand side and then going to the left. And then I come back over, but don't touch there. And you spiral in, or these are all auras in here. And then just keep going. At your own pace. Enjoy the process. Slow down. Remember to breathe. Getting towards the end here. And again, I'm going to kind of go off the corner a little bit. So I'm going to come back up. You kind of have to guesstimate for the end ones a little bit. There we go. So we have one ribbon there. And then I'm going to put in another ribbon. So for Ambler, this tangle on the inside, that's Ambler. I'm adding these on the outside to make it more of a ribbon or a border. So since we're using the Hollibaugh style, we're going to choose another area to draw a curve in, and I'm using curves today because I'm in a curvy mood. And I think maybe I want to go over like that. And you can choose a different curve if you'd like, but I think I'm just going to go over to this one, kind of lift my pen up and fly over to the other side and keep going. And then I'm going to aura that curve, but I don't want it as wide as this one. So I'm going to go a little thinner. And you might want it wider, and that's perfectly fine. You can go ahead and do that. And then I'm going to put in, kind of starting in the middle, put in the first one like we did before. And then since I like to work left to right, I'm just going to come over here and put in these. And here again, we've kind of run off of the tile, and so we'll just do our best. Now come back over to this side, and we're doing the mirror of these. So we're going to start here and go down and to the left. Rotate your tile if you need to. We have our second one done. And we just continue on that way with the Hollibaugh style, and then adding our Ambler on the inside. So you can choose whichever angles you'd like to put more in. I'm going to rotate a little bit and then go over to, let's go over here. And let's see. I can go this way. Kind of make it a little curvier. And then I am going to start this one, maybe right here. Like that. And again, I went off the tile, kind of guesstimate, and come back over. And then we go to the left-hand side. All right, now let's see, where should we go? Um, let's do one through here. And I'm gonna make this one pretty thin. Again, I'm making them different widths just for interest. You can make them wider or thinner, depending on what you would like. And for this one, the center is, we have this one going right through it. So I'm just going to go with I'm just gonna start as if the original one were hiding behind here. And it's actually kind of challenging when they're smaller. We have this area here to kind of guesstimate. And then we'll come over here. And do the mirror opposite. And maybe we can put in one more through here. Start like right there, and we're going to go under two of them. Make this kind of wide, so. And this is where it gets a little tricky because you kind of, again, you have to kind of guesstimate. because some of it would be under these areas. So we'll just start with the right hand side. We'll come over here to the left. We'll just, this one actually kind of fits in here just perfectly. How about that? All right, cool. So we did, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I think that's plenty. If you'd like to add more, you absolutely can. But I'm gonna stop there and I'm going to pick up my number 2 pencil and add some shading. And I'm just gonna start with our original one and just add shading along it, going over the ribbons that have that appearance of being underneath. And I actually, for this one, I think I'm going to add shading to both sides. If you prefer just to leave it on one side, that's fine. But I think for today, I want to add it to both sides. And I'm going in a little darker than I normally would with shading. All right, let's pick another area. And let's do this one. So I'm going to shade along our ink line. But when I get to this section, just like with the pen, I'm going to lift my pencil and kind of fly over to the other side and keep going. And again, I'm going to shade both sides. And let's pick another one. Let's go over here to this thinner one in the corner. And you can do your shading in any order, but I'm just kind of working my way around. This one was a little curvier. And we have this one is under but over. So that can be a little tricky. Sometimes you have to pause and think about it. And again, this is under, so we fly over, but it's also over a different one. So then we shade over that. Okay, and I think we just have this last one here. This wider one, which is under 2. All right, so now we have some graphite down and we can take our tortillon and we can start blending. So with blending, I'm just very lightly with the tortillon, and with these ribbons, I'm just rubbing the tortillon back and forth so it gets a much smoother look to it. Like that. So we have those nicely shaded. And then something else you can do as well is you can shade the Ambler. And there's different ways that you can shade it, but I kind of like to we'll work in this very first one because it's kind of nice and wide. Um, I kind of like to add a little shading to the corners, going to the center there. Just a little bit, just very lightly, not a lot of graphite, but just a touch. All right, and then I'm going to take the tortillon and then I'm going to blend those. So you're getting kind of like an almost on the paper has like a little bit of a 3D effect, kind of like these are little pyramids. And that makes it really fun. Like that. So that's a lot of fun. And you don't have to do it to all of them. Another thing that you could try if you want to do a different style of shading is you could actually shade kind of pick a side, like shade the left hand side, for example. And then on the flip side, I'm going to do the right hand side. And again, I'm not adding a whole lot of graphite, just a little bit, just for some interest. If you don't want to add any, you don't have to. So you can play around with these and make them your own and decide what kind of shading you'd like. Maybe you don't want any shading. Maybe you only want to do this type of shading. Um, totally up to you. All right, so awesome. I think that's all we're going to do with the shading. It looks really cute, and we learned a new tangle called Ambler. So we are going to, let's put our initials in before we turn this over. And sometimes I like to rotate around to figure out where I want to put my initials. I think I'm going to go right in here. Just tuck that in there. And then I'm going to flip it over. And I like to put my name. And this is Inktober 2024. And this is October 1. So it's day 1, October 1. And we learned Ambler by Zentangle. I like to put Zentangle HQ, Zentangle headquarters kind of sometimes, just for short, a little bit of shorthand sort of. And then there we are. That is Ambler. I was playing around with this, and I also did one on a black tile, just so that you could see how it looks. So we've got the white tile that we just did, and then the black tile that I did a little while ago just to practice. And I did use the metallic gel pens from Altitude. And then I also used a white chalk pencil. And it has a really nice look to it. So I like it. I like both of them. Fun, easy, and that is Inktober day 1. I hope you had a lot of fun with that and play around with it and definitely make it your own. And like I said, I like putting this tangle in a ribbon and then doing this Hollibaugh style with it. It just makes it a lot of fun for me. So thank you for joining me. I hope you join me for day 2. And we'll keep going and see how it goes. By the end, we should have 31 tiles. Sounds like a lot, but it goes pretty quickly, and it's really a lot of fun, and you learn a whole lot. So I hope to see you tomorrow. Thank you for joining me today, and have an awesome day. And I love you guys. Take care. Bye-bye.